Why do people make video games? There are several reasons. What I like to think is the first and foremost on people's minds is the desire to have the target audience enjoy the product. Games should be fun. Games are meant to be fun. That's why we play them. They're a good distraction from the toils and troubles of real life. They're a welcome diversion. But that's not the only reason people make video games. There are other reasons, more complicated reasons, that dig deep into the human psyche itself. Some people make games for the sole purpose of challenge. And ideally, this challenge would be linked to the idea of having fun, but that is not always the case. Look at the recent phenomenon that has gone over the internet in incredible force. ROM hacks. People taking beloved games and spinning them into something not fun, but new and, most importantly, gut-wrenchingly impossible. Or if not impossible, incredibly, incredibly challenging. For some reason, these types of games appeal to people, with ROM hacks of beloved Mario games, Zelda, amongst others. I'm sure there are Mega Man ROM hacks out there as well. But in order to be difficult, a game doesn't have to be a ROM hack made by a single crazed gamer. No. Companies themselves have prided themselves on making difficult games. And this one, Battletoads, made in 1991 by Rare, is one of the most difficult games ever made. Some people would go as far to say it is impossible. And that's somewhat true in that there is one level that I can think of off the top of my head that is literally impossible if you're playing it two-player. Fortunately, I'm going to be playing this by myself. So what's the backstory behind Battletoads? Well, it has the simplistic story, which you'll see here in the intro screen. But more importantly than the story is the reception that came from its audience. Now, being in 1991, the Nintendo had been around for a good half-decade or so. And somehow it was relatively well received, but casual gamers, even when it was first released, they weren't particularly fond of it. And I'm going to quote Wikipedia here, quote, due mostly to its capriciously high difficulty. It earned 8th place in IGN's top 10 most difficult games to beat. And to give you a little bit of perspective, I'll read on that full list. Going from number 10 to number 1, we have Ninja Gaiden Black, Devil May Cry 3, Battletoads, R-Type, MDK2, which I've never played and I'm not familiar with. It's apparently a Dreamcast game. We have Super Ghouls and Ghosts, F-Zero GX, Shinobi, the original Mega Man at number 2, which I must disagree with because I've played that and Battletoads, and Battletoads is much, much harder. And the number 1 game being Contra, which I've never played and have no immediate plans to play. Ever. And I'd like to stress that very much. Suffice it to say, I am probably a little disturbed in the head. But I feel that this game, Battletoads, was a very significant milestone in gaming because of the difficulty curve it created and spawned in future games. I like to think that people that make ROM hacks were influenced by Battletoads. Battletoads might have been their favorite game of all time. And I won't lie, I have some fond memories of this game as a child as well. If I remember correctly, I did beat it, but Battletoads being Battletoads, it can create some false memories in the heads of those who play them, because it causes psychological disorders, such as diabetes, for instance. Let's see what happens.